So, this is the Amplify Voices of the Global Majority series that's focusing on food and environmental justice. And my name is Miles, so I'm your co host, along with my colleague Jessica Dervaj, for our journey throughout this week. And today we welcome Dr. Ietef Vita, who will be giving a presentation on how Eco-Hip-Hop decolonized the kitchen, recipes for resistance. So, as we've been continuing to do, Kripalu has been joining forces with change makers around the globe who are working to dismantle inequity and mitigate harm while stewarding the planet and prioritizing collective wellness and stressing interdependent liberation. And so, throughout history, Voices of the Global Majority, which we're experiencing throughout this entire series, Black, Indigenous, and people of color have been at the forefront of breaking down barriers of systemic issues that affect both the planet as well as humanity while ushering in radical change along the way. And so, whether it's been doing things along the lines of bringing yoga to the West, or fighting injustice on the front lines, or bringing food to those who need it, now has been a time for us to begin to listen and to heal historical wounds and begin to do things differently than we have been. So, we are entering into this work as an act of community care. And as we know, none of us can be well unless all of us are well. So we continue to welcome you into this space and into these experiences of knowledge and learning. And we are inspired continually to be sharing the space with you. So as we gather today, virtually located in the Berkshire Hills of Massachusetts on the unceded territory of the Stockbridge-Munsee Band of Mohicans, and on behalf of Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health, we welcome and invite you to use the link in the chat to learn about what lands you are on and the indigenous inhabitants that have stewarded those lands. And please feel free to share those in the chat as you engage and learn in that level. And also know that today Kripalu continues to steward the lands that we are on as a nonprofit educational organization that is dedicated to empowering people and communities to realize their full potential through the transformative wisdom of yoga and its practice. And this Amplify series, Amplify Voices of the Global Majority, has been brought to us by the generous gifts of our donors. And so we thank them, and we continue to thank you for your presence with us along this way. And so before we start to dive in and get to experience the wonderful lesson that we're going to have with Ietef, we'd like to share with you our community agreements and just acknowledge that by being in this space with us tonight, you are acknowledging them, you're accepting them, and you're opting into them. And we thank you for doing so. And the last thing we'll do just before we kind of begin to fully settle in is just take in one good breath in through the nose and let it out with a good sigh. And we thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Miles. Welcome, everyone. It is so amazing to see some new faces tonight and also familiar faces, folks that have been attending these sessions. What an incredible, incredible week. We are honored, and delighted to welcome Dr. Ietef Vita. Dr. Ietef, DJ Kevin Vita is a Grammy-nominated music educator, father of Eco-Hip-Hop, co-founder of Plantega, and a celebrity vegan chef with a PhD in urban ecology. Seen in Leonardo DiCaprio's documentary, Ice on Fire, Ietef was the 2020 Thrillist Hero Award winner, as well as mentioned in Forbes, Oprah Magazine, and People for songs about his climate action and food justice. Concrete Garden is an interactive organic seed pack album with the QR code and growing instructions to spur listeners into action in urban farming. Miles and I are here to support y'all for whatever you need. You can DM us on the side. You can email us online support@kripalu.org. There'll be an opportunity to ask Dr. Vita questions at the end of the program. And without further ado, because I am so curious about what he's got going on over there, all that incredible food, we are honored to welcome Dr. Ietef Vita.
What's good? All right, please. Let me just go ahead and show you. All right, I'm just gonna show you what we have. So we're gonna make a raw deconstructed cheesecake and this nice seasonal salad. And we got a couple of different vibes, of course, the sprouts, we got, the avocados, we got the kale, there's the berries, there's the hip, there's the cashews, there's some sprouted greens and bejeweled dates, and this is gonna be fun. Outside of the truffle oil over there, and I'm gonna show you. This is gonna be a vibe after you all get a chance to expand on. So I get a chance, to have fun with you. So that's what we're gonna do. First off, my name, Dr. Ietef Vita. You can also call me Onibade Ifashegu, representing all the way from Arapaho Nation. You know what I mean? Nothing but love for where you at. My pronouns is hip hop, and hip hop. And my main focus has been around redefining the image of wealth in hip hop culture, using sustainability, as the platform and the generation that we're going to go. Because, hip hop is a lifestyle, it's the way we dress, the way we talk, the way, the things that we buy, the things that we appreciate, and so it's about transforming that in the culture and the lens. And what that looks like to decolonize the kitchen, straight up off the back, growing your own food, but also using food as medicine and food as the real wealth for our health. And that conversation is important. So I'm gonna lay it down for y'all. We're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna be, start straight off the back. First things we gotta do is we gotta put a bed of coconut shreds. All right. So if you do this at home, you wanna make sure your hands is clean. We'll talk. But this is the important part. Bang. Got it. Check you out. If you can hit with, put some notes in the chat, send some love, you know what I'm saying? But this is what we're gonna do. First things first, make sure you got all your ingredients out. I got my coconut oil. We're gonna go straight to the coconut shreds, my G. And this is what you want to do for cheesecake, all right? It's about a cup. You can use less if you have like a small tray, you know what I'm saying? But this is what you want to do. Straight up that. You want to get that all nice and ready. Next thing you want to do, this is the important part. This is where, it gets fun. So it's conversation time right now. You know what I'm saying? You pull out your dates, check the pits out, you talk real life. So me, from the 5 Points, downtown Denver, grew up around poets and gangsters and family and oracles and griots and healers and teachers. And I feel like a lot of that has, given me like the biggest perspective on, how community has so much drive. And when you think about it from that perspective, there's a lot of things that you can learn from it. I was that kid selling incense and oils at like age 13 at the barbershops, So many different hustles to where that led me to the farmer's market. I was growing my own food. I'm providing for the family and community. That's about 1 cup. We're going to do 2 cups. So I was at the farmer's market selling collard greens and kale and things that I was growing. understanding that this was like, this is a real life concept. Why isn't anyone talking about this in music, So if you think about it from that perspective, we can continue to heal our people, but we had to make it fresh. We had to make it cool. And I'm not the only one who's been at the forefront of doing the best that they can to highlight food justice. But it's all about how consistent we can be with it. And I'm excited that, there's been a lot of transformation with environmental hip hop. And nowadays, you can throw a rock and find a veggie burger. At least that's what I'm talking about. So, bang. 2 cups of dates, my G. These some mature dates. Took the pits out. Definitely gonna either grow these or compost these, or you can roast these and make some really good date coffee and all that jazz. There's mad ideas you can do with zero waste, player. It's up to you. Save your seeds. I would always say if you eat organic and you got seeds in it, I want to say those. Just put them aside. Keep them in a dry space. You might want those joints one day. You might be like, well, where them seeds at? That's exactly what I need. So so many different perspectives. You know what I mean? Dang. All right. So we good in the hood. So next thing, walnuts. I was about 1.5 cups. You know what I'm saying? All right. With a little pinch of salt, this is how you're gonna make the crust for this cheesecake, all right? Throw that on the blender or a food processor, probably even better. And then you're just gonna go ahead and tamp that joint, A couple different ways you can do it. I'm gonna have it on low. And if you put the walnuts at the bottom, it might even give you more of a crumbly kind of style. If you put the dates at the top, you know what I'm saying? At the bottom, then it gives you a different kind of more together, gooey kind of vibe. Check this out. When it starts to come together, that's when you got your crust. You know what I'm saying? Keep gang. Keep gang on this play. Hold on. Let me pull that for you, player. Pull it out for you. All right, this right here. You see? You know what I'm saying? All right. So you can do a couple different things, of course. Boom, and it comes together. You know what I mean? All right. So, I love making these at home, making it for friends. And pour this all out real quick. We got what we need. Our pizza that spoon was ready. Back up anyway. All right. So if you're taking notes and you want to know how to make this raw cheesecake, you already know. Like I said, you need dates, walnuts, Himalayan salt. You're gonna need, some hemp seeds, your berries of your choice. You're gonna need some.
Hey, Ietef.
Yeah.
Yep, can you just adjust your camera? When you positioned it a moment ago, it kind of got shifted. Yeah, it's just a little bit, you just need to adjust a little bit.
How's that? Does that look good? Is it good now?
Yes, it's great.
All right, cool beans, cool beans. Hey, have a seat. We're live. So we are live from Naropa University right now, getting down, you know what I'm saying? So this was popping. We just made, you know, the base for the crust. So got to get y'all in this real quick, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of different ways you can do this. All right. So you got your crust. Just gonna pour this directly into the pan where we put, you already know, we put the coconut shells, right? Dang. And you're gonna press it in, you know? Well, let's take about half of this. You know what I'm saying? Right? So now you got that. That's one important part. You gotta have a crust, or, you know, depending on how you want. You can do it a couple of different ways because, you know, that's how people like it. So we got one way, and then we're gonna set it up this way. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be good. All right, so you take the walnuts and the dates that had that little pinch of the salt, and then after that, bang, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna vibe with that. That's the first half for the deconstruction, right? Now, the other part, the fun part. Soak cashews, you know, you want to make sure that you soak them. You want to drain the water, you know, and do what you got to do, right? In this case, we already have the water ready to go with the cashews. So we throw about 2.5 cups cashews, depending on how much you actually making. But because I got like 2 different bases that we're making for, you know, one for the base of this actual bottom of this cheesecake, and another one that's for the deconstructed, which is, you know, that's the artsy vibe. You do a little drips on that, you know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. Come on, play it. Let's just be real. You go to the raw restaurants and they want like, you know, $35 for like, you know, with the, you know what I mean, for the slice with the edible gold and the nasturtiums, and it's true. And you know it's bomb. Real talk, that's why I'm playing food, you know. So let me just show you why it's important. You want to learn how to do this at home. Maybe that you can be that guy, you know, you can be the one that's like they hit you up and they say they want you to come through and pull up with the raw cheesecake, player, you know? So this is another thing we're gonna do. We're gonna get the cashews up, and then you gotta have it, you know what I'm saying? I'm using Dr. Brown. This is, I know it's regenerative. I know it's certified organic, you know. That's one thing. You keep that in mind, you know. Right? Oh, no. I know how much we're doing. This right here is a cup and a half. So I'm using the top of the ring. The top of this ring right. Oh yeah. Man, about a cup and a half. It's a cup and a half. You know what I'm saying? Coconut oil. You know, might need a little bit more. Then I got some organic maple syrup. This is really up to your flavor. It's up to you. If you want, you're gonna have a lot. If you don't, it's up to you, player. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe like for this recipe, I would do like maybe about a cup, you know what I'm saying? But you can probably get away with like maybe a cup or maybe half a cup, you know what I'm saying? That's just real, that's just real. Okay. When you've been doing this long enough, you already know, you can just like your eyes is like, boom, you know exactly what it is. It should look like that, you know? It should look like that. Then you're gonna take about a cap full of this vanilla extract, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's, you know, good for the rainforest and organic and fair trade, because that's important, player. All right. So as we're getting through this is pretty much the base of the cheesecake. So it's cashews, you know what I'm saying? It's coconut oil, it's maple syrup, and of course, it's the vanilla extract, you know what I'm saying? So depending on how much you add, that's on you, player. I gave you the style how we get down. But the real thing about it is, like, man, I'm just gonna be real. Like, this is like the best way to connect with your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because like food is medicine. You know what I'm saying? When you get a chance to like bring something that's like fly, jazzy like this over to your peoples, they really appreciate it. So think about it from that perspective. You know, it's not just something you got to be selfish with. This is like so bomb that you're gonna have to share with a friend. Just saying. So we can share with a friend. Share with your homies. Next thing we're gonna do. On the high blend. And you want this to be creamy. So basically you're gonna blend it into its creamy. Watch. That baby's ready to pour. The whole goal of this, as soon as you get it all flavored out, you drop this baby in the freezer and it sets. I swear, yo. All right. You know the gamut of this, right? You pour it in, get the spin on. Then, and if you got the culinary spoon, of course, you want to go ahead and just. That's the first top of the deconstructed raw cheesecake right there. You know? Hold up, play. Next thing you gotta add, that I would add if I was you, because it's some of my favorite things to add, are the berries. Gotta throw those in. Yeah. Little of the hemp seeds, right? Yeah. not over, it's not over. And then. So it's. Bang. There you go. Let me still switch this a little bit. Are we looking? Okay, looking. Okay, hold on. We gotta let somebody try real quick though. I know you're like, boy, came over here and made stuff with some cardboard, which y'all playing games. I know y'all asking questions. Hold up. I got some students in here. Come introduce yourself. I'm just gonna give you here. Stand right here. I'm gonna give you the plate. I'm gonna let her get down. Hold on. All right, introduce yourself.
I'm Puting. Hi.
Speak a little louder, please.
I'm Puting.
All right, cool. And all right, go ahead. Go on, let him try. Let him. She's gonna try for you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Wow. This is good. Wow. It's like so soft and like caramelly.
Okay.
So good. Yeah. It's fun.
I'm excited. Okay. So that's all you got. We're going on to the next one. We're gonna give you some time.
Okay.
Bang. Okay. Let's get this on. All right. Round one. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So that's the first part of that, right? This right here is settling. So we're gonna chop up some more food and chop it up real quick. And while I'm chopping up some food, let's go ahead and take some questions before I get on to the next recipe. And I can vibe with y'all for a second, because I know y'all like, how you gonna make some cheesecake without cheese? I know that's the first question you got, but it's okay, player. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna explain it all. You know what I mean? But let's take the first question, and we're gonna vibe on that.
Yeah. One of the first questions we have is when you're setting the cake, how long does it take to sit in the freezer, and do you have to frost it prior to serving?
Definitely have to frost it unless you want more of a tart kind of vibe, and you want to do it overnight. Or you might even want to do it like at least for like if you make it in the morning, by the time you pull it out like around like 7 p.m., it might be ready. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to make. Definitely.
And when you're using oil, do you prefer to use coconut oil, and what type of coconut oil, if so?
Yeah, I'm using that regenerative Dr. Bronner's, whole kernel virgin coconut oil, just virgin coconut oil, you know what I mean? Raw, unrefined, you know what I'm saying, to the best of your ability. I like theirs because it's regenerative. I know it's organic, you know what I mean? I think about all those other things, sometimes that might get you, you know what I mean? It may be vegan, but it ain't organic. People talk about the price of organic food, but they forgot about the price of cancer and the price of a kidney, you know what I mean? All these other things. So, your food is your medicine, and, that's what you should invest in.
And another question is, how long have you been vegan, and can you give any insight into being vegan, as well as raising children or stewarding other people in being vegan?
Wow. I've been vegan for over 28 years. I come back from the rice milk days, rice milk. Remember that? Remember that was all it was? Yeah, you know, Asian market days. That's the only place you can find tofu. Oh God, And so when you think about it from that perspective of how long it's been, like, it wasn't even called vegan. I was kicking it with Rastas. It was called Ital. You know what I mean? I feel like at that time, everybody called it vegetarian. Like vegan wasn't the word. It was just called vegetarian. That's how long it's been. So I feel like watching the development is dope. You can throw a rack and find out, is that a veggie burger? Like it's like that nowadays, So the gratitude is real, but we're still taking time on how to develop our community and understanding access. And that really starts with really who we are, what I mean? Like what we love about our food and how we can appropriate it and, veganize it and our recipes of our ancestors and how do we take that and make that work for us? Because, there's a lot of those things are just in our mind, like it's not that diabetes runs in the family. It's not just that people don't run in the family, but there's a lot of the fact that our recipes need to change. And that's also for as chefs, we have the biggest responsibility to set the status quo on what is hot, what's in, you know what I mean? And so if we choose to be more seasonal, if we choose to have more ideas that are like locally grown and have access from the hood, at least you can say that it was grown up the block or out the backyard, or that you knew the farmer or you got it from the farmer's market and they nice people. Like that whole conversation changes everything.
And regarding where you are in Denver, do you grow your food year round? And if so, do you have a short growing season during that time or use other methods to extend your growing season?
Wow. Yeah. I live in between Sausalito and Denver. So I get a chance to, have the California growing season and, enjoy the snow and, watch cabbage and potatoes grow in the middle of the winter, so that's a beautiful thing, Colorado was fortunate of being able to do a lot of things if you got a greenhouse. So I'm coming from. Dang. Adding the blueberries now. Oh yeah, we got a question in the house. What's up?
What makes coconut oil regenerative?
Wow. She asked me what makes this coconut oil regenerative. I believe it's because of the farmers. The farmers are using composting techniques and they're actually like no pesticides and all that. So there's like a direct connection with healthy farmers. There's a question coming in from the Roper. Or any other last questions? We vibing in right now. We're just, we're putting in some berries.
Yeah, there's an interesting question regarding like kitchen equipment. Do you know any kind of lending libraries or organizations that help to support giving those types of tools in terms of like a lending library of sorts in different areas?
Yo, there's always somebody in the hood who got, that connection on that way too. I feel like depending on where you are, Central Kitchens, a couple of different nonprofit spaces, I know have always been like a help with like opening it up. But, it deepens that practice when you just do it for yourself too, creating access. A lot of times, you already know it's a bootstrap process. You know what I'm saying? So even for me, like I started out on the juice man player back in the day. I had the juice man. They had the little contraptions on the side. I was so happy to get that juicer. You know what I'm saying? Move my way up player too. I had like the little champion on the side. You know what I mean? The energy change. The more awareness that I had, like I started to just understand that, like, my mind and my body, I had to like change my economic blueprint and the way I thought about myself and like health and wellness to the point I was like, look, you can't even, if I value myself, I had to see myself like like your body is the Bugatti, your body's a Ferrari, and you know you can't put unleaded gas in that, metaphorically. The conversation is that, we have to eat things that are like to the best of our ability and farthest from our biological makeup to get like that best wellness idea. You know what I mean? So I thought about it from that same perspective. I'm like, how can I get closer? So, it was juices and dehydrators and, sometimes it's a blender, sometimes it's just a cutting board. You know what I mean? And like when you take care of yourself, you'll realize that it's really the garden. It's really nature. It's really just going out and, breathing in the sunlight, sun gazing, trying to watch the sunrise. You know what I mean? It's simple. It's not as like technical, you know what I mean? Like the whole goal of prana is so that we can just absorb, right? You know what I mean? Like we have to be able to give as well, but at the same time, what are we absorbing? It's a part of our environment, and it's just like the things we put on our skin. You know what I mean? If you can't put it in your mouth, definitely don't put it on your skin. That's just me. Like, so I use coconut oil on the body. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. So, yeah. Yeah. And I feel that way.
And then just to shift slightly to more of a technical, hands-on question, when you made the date nut mixture, did you put the liquid into the blender at that time?
When I made the dates and the walnuts, there was no water at all. That was just dry. So that was just dates and walnuts and a pinch of salt. And then we just put that on a low setting. You can kind of pulse that in like any kind of food processor to get that same kind of texture. And when everything starts to comes from a separated crumble to it's all together, that's when it's good. And then you can layer that on top of even if it's like a bed of oatmeal, or it can be coconut shreds, but you definitely want to use that to create that separation so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan layer. Yeah.
And then the final question that we have in the chat right now is just regarding Tracy McWhorter. And if you have any commentary on that and any recipes in that vein of inspiration, affirmation, healthy vegan lifestyle.
Oh man, Tracy McClure is cool, man. By any means necessary. I'm hip with her. I'm hip. I know what she's all about. We're up in DC metro area. And I think she has a really beautiful initiative. I just sprinkled some hemp seeds on top of what I just did. I think she has a beautiful initiative to transform the way that, people in the inner city, people from the hood, people who look like me, who don't really get a chance to identify with, plant-based lifestyle because of the lab coats. You gotta wait for your doctor to say you can change the way you eat, and a lot of times I can definitely, hinder people from doing it earlier. So, she's provided some fresh remixes on the recipes. There's a lot of access out there. I try to keep it as plant-based as possible. Not everything vegan is organic, and that's the reason why I say, like, from the concept of that, like, there's moderation. I know when I'm traveling, it might be hard to find something that's like truly something I get down with on the daily and the regular. And it's all about knowing how to detox, right? Keeping that chlorophyll in the back pocket, you know what I'm saying? Like keeping that turmeric on deck, like for real. You know what I mean? Because that's really what you need, you know what I mean? Like heavy metals and all that stuff, get you some cilantro, player, you good, like all these things you can fight. And you just got to just remember how to just program your body to accept those things too, Yeah. Check us out though. We did it, B. So, throw that baby in the freezer. That's what I'm gonna do next with this one.
And just following up on the berries here, There's a question about why not place the berries after the cheesecake has set and has been taken out of the freezer, or why not place them on a liquid foundation instead?
Yo, they're ready to go, and they just sunk right into it, you know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna just solidify, you know what I'm saying? You know how the cashews, think about cashews when it liquefies, you know how it is, but then it becomes like a solid, eventually later, and so the vibe with that, it's just gonna be beautiful, with the coconut oil slice, to keep that creamy and it's all nice and smooth. It's up to you, you know what I mean? If you want to put the berries on the inside, you can blend them up and get a nice different color. Like if I wanted like a purple color base, or if I wanted like a green base, I'll throw like some spirulina or some matcha or some blue base. I do like blue spirulina, right? And so it's really about your flavor, you know what I mean? That can be your vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like throw the berries on the inside, you get like the extra chunks and all that jazz, like. Yeah, for real, for real. And you don't even have to have the berries on the outside at all, I just when I cut it, it looks so fly, you know what I'm saying? It looks like a mosaic on the top, right? And then it's like a solid white wall with like this beautiful like brown crust at the bottom, player. Yeah. 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 It's like that. So shout out to the elders on that one, you know what I mean? I am because you are, we are because they were, and so it is. We keep that on the tip of the tongue, remember where we come from. All right. Next, going straight, coming out the west side. I feel like, with the time that we have, matter of fact, how much time do I have left? Time check.
We have approximately an hour and 16 minutes.
Perfect. So I figured I'd say, good vibe, we good. All right. One of the favorite things I like to make comes in so many different ways. And, I know we all get down. There's so many ways to make it solid, right? And I'm gonna show you how I get down. All right. So what we're going to use for this, we got truffle oil. We have unpasteurized organic soy sauce. That's just me. That's just how I get down. And turmeric. All right. So the things that we're going to use for this: sunflower sprouts, fennel, fresh chard, all right, some fresh kale, all right, some mandarins, a little bit of mango, some hemp seeds, and then of course I got the super greens. So we're gonna get down. Couple of ways. I like to start off with mine, of course. You gotta get your greens ready first. I feel like if you get your greens ready, and you can do this a couple ways. You can cut out your stems, you can save them for your compost, or you can save them for a vegetable stock. There's so many things that you can do with this. You can save them for juice. So you're making a green juice later. Save all your stems. That's where all the nutrient is anyway. That's like some of the best stuff ever, right? So take your greens. If you have loose greens, of course, you want to chop them up. If you already have microgreens or some sprouts, you probably don't need to do this at all. And me, I get down with the sprouts, please. But if not, just go ahead and chop it up. You know what I mean? Make it cool. Right? And then, like, remember, like, charred stems, they kind of like in your face, man. So, like, some people just be like, that's like eating rosemary stems, player. Like, some people don't really like charred stems. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, you might want to cut them out or get to the top of it to where it's a little soft, and it's not like, like you eating something soft and then like you eating something hard, like out of nowhere. I'm just being real with you. You know what I'm saying? I used to cut the stems out of my collard greens too. And you don't just, collard greens are special. You know what I mean? It's so special, I couldn't even give out my recipe like this, like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, and you don't just eat somebody's collard greens. You know what I mean? You need like at least like 6 referrals. 6. All right, cool. So I'm gonna show you the kale though real quick, because I got you on that one. I got you. Cool. I cut the spines out just like I do the collard greens, man. Just up to the top to where it's soft. You can do that with a couple of them, depending on how big they are. Okay, got you. See that? Pull it right out. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So that's a good amount for this. And depending on how you do this, you can go ahead and roll them up and cut them. We're in Colorado, we roll greens. All right. Half that goes, and half of that. Take some of these super greens, already ready to roll. We'll mix some of that in with the kale and the chard, right? Then we're gonna add the oil first. So it all depends on how much you really want to get down. Me, I get down. So, me, I just keep pointing to the ancestors, tell me to stop. And that's how we get down. You know what I'm saying? The ancestors is like, stop. And I did, man. All right, cool. Same thing. That's a good one right there. See, when it comes to your flavor, I'll go to some people's houses, sometimes I might have to have the hot sauce in the bag or maybe a little salt. So, all right, that's a little turmeric. Told you was gonna do it. Told you that in the hemp seeds, right? Man, I can hear it. Move it out around real quick. Perfect. Then we got the mandarins. There's a couple of different ways you can just do this. I just kind of just slice them and I just squeeze them. The slice and the squeeze it. All right. All right. You want to add some of these? Sunflower seeds with the sunflower sprouts. Put the stems over here. Layer. All right. I'm gonna show you how we get down on this real quick. We're gonna get down on this real quick, okay? Couple different ways. Yes. Good luck. All right, all right, all right, all right. Really like this one. Let me go ahead and show you. Wow, real talk, man. Hold up. That doesn't that look good though? You know what I'm saying? Let's get the close up on it. All right, so we got the turmeric, the mandarin, the chard, the kale, the hemp seeds, the truffle oil, the unpasteurized soy sauce, you know. Yeah. Wow. All right, all right, all right. So, you know, you can do that a couple different ways. You know what I'm saying? You know what's even cool about that? If you take out the super greens, right. Yeah. If you take out the super greens, you can pretty much, you know, saute that. You know what I mean? For like maybe like 3 minutes on high with a top on it.
Etef, can you just adjust that main camera just a little bit?
Yeah, man. Let's get good. You good now? Perfect. So I was just saying, like, yeah, man, you know, there's a couple different ways you can get down. Oh, yo, your pills, just save your orange pills, your own guy, like, you know, you go ahead and make your own potpourri if you want, or you can go ahead and just dehydrate them, you know what I'm saying? Make some fresh tea out of it real quick, you know, add your little tea blend, you know what I'm saying? Or you already know, it's one of the, you put some orange pills around, like, you know, your plants and things like that, help keep some of the pests away too, you know what I'm saying? So got a couple different options when it comes down to orange pills, you know? But let's vibe in, you know what I mean? Like we just knocked out 2 fresh recipes. You know, definitely want to answer any questions on this, and then I'll close it out with a couple of, you know, flavor and style, and, you know, and jazz and how we get down, you know, if there's any. Unless it was concise and to the point, you know? We grand? We good? What questions we got out there? I can't see it. Somebody gotta read it out to me.
Yeah, one of the questions that came through was there an acid component such as vinegar or lemon in the dressing you created?
Yeah, that was the mandarins. Yeah, we definitely got a nice good squeeze of 2 of those. You can add more if you want, you know. I think that was a good flavor with that though, you know, help bring out that. So yeah, it was a good vibe too. I'm already excited about just what this is gonna taste like, you know what I mean? Let the students try it though.
Excellent. And another question that came through is, can you say something about the benefits of truffle oil and what your experience with it has been?
Man, there's so many different styles. I feel like, you know, it's just in the culinary world, it has its place, you know what I mean? And my goal has been always about how do we redefine the image of wealth, you know? And so if health looks like that, you know what I mean? I feel like at the timing of it and the sourcing of it, you know, some people get it from Spain and, depending on how you can make it just from just the process of just the pace. And like it's tedious. And I think it's more about the experience of how people are, transforming the culinary world with it. But my style and how I use it, it's about the reflection and the reminder about the same way we adorn ourselves. We don't just eat AU and gold for no reason. You know what I mean? We are electric and we connect with that. So I feel like it's another way of like also just being in tune with yourself and also in tune with like the higher being. It's definitely not just the culinary oil and not just for flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like it reminds us about the things we love about hip hop culture. This is what I'm talking about. Like how do we decolonize the kitchen, but we take our remedies and our recipes back, with flavor and style. And you know what I'm saying? Like the way we wear a suit is gonna be different than the way you wear a suit. And that's just, it's the flavor, and that's what I like about not just truffle, but all the ingredients we use. We do things different, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about, is sharing that culture. Like how can we share our knowledge that we have? You know what I mean? Real talk.
And do you have any rituals that are ancestral that you could share regarding cooking, or ideas on how to tap into ancient ways that you might have in your own family?
Some of the things that I got a chance to connect with, not just charging the food, you know what I mean? There's so many ways I charge my food, but just the intention, the spirit, the thoughts that you have when you're preparing the food. I had an opportunity to be around, a lot of people who took it seriously, you know what I mean? The healers and the elders that I got a chance to kick it with, they was all about, the food is medicine. And so I feel like more than just the collard green seeds that were like brought to America through, through the braids of enslaved Africans. There's a different perspective on how we connect with food and the practice of growing. We've been doing a lot of work on healing our mind and how we can get back to the earth, because there is a big stigma of this post-traumatic syndrome, you know what I mean, of melanated people getting back into the earth in a perspective that is something that is beneath us. So we have to do it from a layer of healing. When we go back to growing food and eating of the earth, it's not just healing our body, but it's ancestral healing that happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that's deeper than just eating it too. You know what I'm saying? Like it really does nourish the mind. And that's something that I love about, just being connected to your own food. And when you prepare it as well, your recipes are important, and that's how we resist. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm resisting going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I'm resisting going to, this idea of the standard American diet, which is the acronym of SAD. It is SAD, And so that's what we're doing. We're changing the way people think about that food, Yeah. Yeah, man.
Ava said, you better tell us about those collard greens. And then Miss Peggy said, that we're family. And so if you want to share a collard green recipe, we are here for it.
Ooh, man, my collard greens. Let me tell you, my collard greens, well, they're special. There's so many ways to simmer, saute, and not even touch the heat, man. Like, one way that I really love making collard greens, it's one way my mom makes it. All right, so check it out. She'll take the greens, right? Cut out the spine like I showed you. She'll layer them all together, right? After she cut the spine out, she'll flatten them so it's all both on one side, and she rolls them together, dices them up, and then first thing she adds, lemon juice, a gang of it, to cook it down and make it soft, and like just put a top on for like maybe an hour, right? Then she comes back, adds like all the favorite seasonings, the ginger powder, the onion powder, the cayenne pepper, and of course, there's got to be like some coconut oil or something on top just to kind of just massage all that into it. And man, that's a really good recipe right there. Add a little orange juice to that. Like some fresh squeezed oranges. If you don't want to use the lemon, but you might need a little bit more time for that to cook. As far as like if you're doing it raw. Or if you want to use some heat, then you just go ahead, take out the lemon, and you do that same thing, but you gotta add the onions and the ginger and the skillet and all that stuff way before you even touch the collard greens to the skillet, So there's a couple different ways, but man, for sure, you come to my house, I got you on the collard greens, like it's something that you gotta watch it, you gotta taste it. You can't, it's hard for me to, it's like trying to take violin class through virtual, It's just something you can't do, you can try, but like shout out, it's for the ones trying too, what I'm saying? I really think that you need to be able to feel it, and that's something that's that spirit, I'm gonna tell you one thing, Reiki and all that, it's not bound by energy, by space and time, right? The energy is not bound by space and time, but them collard greens, boy, them things ain't coming in the mail, you know what I'm saying? You better pull up now. All right. All right, that's a good vibe, though. I'm really excited, though, just the timing that we have. I got a chance to share with you. Boom, I put this together for you. I gotta put it together. All right. Come on, Mike. Yeah. You guys got a better section.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. So we made a couple of things. Introduce yourself real quick. This is Michael. He here with me. Welcome, man. Tell him what's going on, and I want you to try this food, man. Here.
Thank you. Wow. It's a pleasure to be here with y'all. Thanks for the invitation that looks beautiful. My name is Michael Bauer. I'm the director of the Joanna Macy Center for Resilience and Regeneration here at Naropa University. And we're in the division of mission, culture, and inclusive community. So what we're trying to do is create a unified model of sustainability, social justice, and contemplative practice, because the root of sustainability is in humanity, and it starts with self-love and self-care and healing, so we can go forth in a good way and do that work. Yeah.
Man, get down on the ground, man. We just got to get down on this.
Okay.
I think it's cool. We got a chance to share this experience all together. This is dope. You know what I mean? I feel like we were all in the kitchen together, and now we get a chance to eat together, get the vibe and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Put the ankle in it, man. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that turmeric?
Turmeric, man.
Mm-hmm.
Turmeric, man. Well, soil.
Wow.
And we got to sit for a little bit too, man. So it's like nice and vibe with that.
Mm.
So check out the experiences that we get a chance to share, though, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, take some chance.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Produce for the people. You gotta feed the people, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, So sharing is caring, you know what I mean? And as we get down on this, you get a chance to vibe with me for a second, I've been writing a new album about culinary climate action and what that looks like to redefine the image of wealth in hip hop culture, but talking about urban farming, and the album's called Concrete Garden. With a shout out to Bob Marley with the Concrete Jungle. I felt like The perspective that we have is we have the potential to grow through concrete, like dandelions, like unapologetic milk thistles, like in your face, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like the youth in the inner city are, you know, the ones who are ditching school to go and protest against climate change. And I wrote an album for them, you know? And so this is the perspective that I think is important. So one poem I'd love to share with you during National Poetry Month as well. It's this is something from the upcoming project I'm working on. It's called Garden Snakes. Check it out. Garden snakes out. Pocket full of greens, watch your big mouth. They got terminated seeds, take your lights out. I'ma sell a lot of greens, watch me break out. Always on the phone. CSA on track, got another home. All the farmers on the block got that skin tone, so I'ma send up on the market till it's all gone. Broccoli in the work. Turn the compost, flip it in the dirt. Flip the dirt, turn it to that net worth. Now you see what's in my pockets, how my net worth. You know, kind of different ideas, right? You know, so like you see, like where hip hop can be a vessel to talk about sustainability and urban farming and all these different styles. And, you know, that's kind of the concept that I feel like, you know, not just the food justice work in this culinary climate action, doing cooking classes. And, you know, we have to actually use our words, you know, and wise words and actions too, not just your words, but the wise words and actions, you know what I mean? And those will definitely give us opportunity to transform the next generation. So, you know, shout out to the elders and the ones shoulders I stand on, you know what I mean? KRS-One and Dead Prez and Common and Badu and, you know, A Tribe Called Quest. Of course, you know, I feel like there's always been somebody trying to kick knowledge and, you know, give them their flowers, real talk. Any last questions we have? Because I want to share a couple other things too.
Yep, we do have another question about incorporating ginger into more dishes and recipes. One person shared that they had tried fresh grated ginger in rice and black beans, and that it was delicious, along with wanting to try ginger in their collards, and are looking for other ways to incorporate it.
Wow. You know what? There's couple different ways I get down with ginger, and I mean, I'm juicing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing it in a juicer, definitely drying it, definitely trying to regrow it. You know, you can go ahead and dry it out when it gets all hard. You can dry it out. You can chop it up. You can use it out your own seasonings. You can shave it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can definitely go ahead and put it in some tea, chop it up in some hot water, and just drink it. You know what I'm saying? With a little maple syrup, it goes fire, player. Like. Ginger's one of them ones, you know what I'm saying? Like one of them low key heats that you keep in your back pocket, player. Like, you know, you might need something like that. These blueberries is fire too. Listen, get you some wild blueberries, man. All the antioxidants you need, you know?
And another question that came through was someone mentioned that they volunteer at a local elementary school's garden with many immigrant families, and they were wondering what your favorite vegetables were when you were little.
Wow. I loved peas. I love watching giant sunflowers grow from such a small, tiny seed. I definitely loved potatoes. I didn't know that they had flowers, the most beautiful white flowers. A lot of people don't know that. And corn, man. Like, kids love corn. I love corn still to this day. Like, I got some of the best tricolor corn, you know what I mean, varieties in my seed bank. Yo, my seed bank flex, player. I hope your seed bank is flexing. You know what I mean? That's what these kids need to see. You know, not the shoe collection. They need to see the seed collection.
And then also, in the same vein of using orange peels and cutting out the spines of kale, what are your thoughts on soup stocks and other ways of interesting ways of using items before composting or other ways of
Yeah.
reutilizing?
Well, it all depends, if it's green stocks, it's definitely, sometimes it goes into like, a Tupperware in the freezer and I'm using that for the stock for sure. Or I'm immediately making that stock if I'm making like some soup or something and like I just need the water, like, it might just be boiling some water and just like, boom, we just gotta just get this stock out the way, put it in the freezer. Or, if it's like other veggie scraps and stuff like that, I might even blend it. I might make a smoothie for my plants. You know what I mean? And then cover it back up for some dirt, and that's, it could be like just, avocado skins or like banana skins and things like that, because, plants be loving that, man. Real talk. They be digging those banana skins. Real, I'm just saying, I have to try it.
And do you have a home garden? And if so, what is the main item you might suggest that someone grow at home?
Wow. Depending on how long you're there, grow trees. You want to eat, for a couple months, you grow a crop. You want to eat forever, you grow a tree, right? So that's what I was told by the OGs. Definitely, if you're in, you living in an apartment, people growing in the windowsill. You put some sprout racks, you know what I'm saying? Put a little rack plant, put a couple sprouts on there, bam, 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 bam. You know what I'm saying? Got your trays going, you know what I'm saying? Sunflower sprouts on the weekly, You can be that sprout guy. You can be that guy who got the sprouts coming out the back door, you know what I mean? But that's on you. If you got the sprouts outside, that's cool. You can definitely get like, the kale popping. I like growing red Russian kale. That's what I have growing at home. I also have 13 fruit trees at home. So it's just different. You know what I mean? Like your access is really about where you're at. I also live on the dock, in Sausalito. So I have like a couple of different raised beds across my houseboat. So you got a different, layer of environments, one Mediterranean climate and one that has a four season,
And can you tell us a little bit about some of your most popular hip hop songs, and specifically the ones that get people most hyped about what to eat and how to explore that?
Definitely. Yep. Thanks for asking. One of the last tracks I dropped, I'm really excited about because, I have an EP out of Concrete Garden, spelled with a K, Concrete Garden with a K. And it's everywhere you find music, but I did a song called Pull Up on the Gate. There's a music video out, and it's about my experience of being a landscaper and an urban farmer. Like, some of the ways I, just started to find my first green job, in high school was like planting begonias and cutting grass. And, I was that guy, who showed up at like 7 a.m. to like, trim the yard, but like I had the high end stuff. We didn't even like spray pesticides. So I went back to the company, the same company. And I was like, yo, I want to go back to those same properties that I used to work on. And I want to shoot a music video. And it was in Cherry Creek. And that was like the experience of that song is really like reliving like, what it felt like to deal with growing in affluent communities and still feeling like it was outside of my own community, you know what I mean? So those are different layers and lenses, you know what I mean? Of like learning how to like use, an image to really talk about real life, songs about being in the farmer's market, like, I'm on the move, or, songs about, being in the urban farm, with the sprouts on deck, sprout that life. Like these songs and the music videos that I've made, like Cool to Live, and kind of like help transform. I wouldn't just say like just the education department on how they can use music, to talk about sustainability, but like how we're like, really working with our community in general. Like hip hop has always been like, oh, let's just throw a block party, you know what I mean? Get some alcohol sponsors and then like, get this DJ to come do this song and whoop-de-whoop, all this stuff. So that's what you normally see in block parties. Well, we decided to just go ahead and do things like green dinners and like travel across the country, throwing like plant-based meals and people can get like free vegan food and we, performing live, or like I'm dropping an album called The Produce Section, available in the produce section, doing a tour with a grocery store and performing in the produce section. Like literally, like that's the kind of things that we've been able to shift. Like, hip hop has been able to do a lot with promoting so many products. So it's like, all right, there's another shoe coming out. All right, cool. Let's just go. Let's do a juicer. You know, let's drop packets of organic seeds like these. You know what I mean? Like these are things that I know that are changing the layers. Like this is the first certified organic hip hop album that you can grow. There's a QR code on the back, growing instructions on the inside of the packaging. This is cherry tomatoes. This one is arugula. We got beets, we got kale. And that's what it's all about. Like eco hip hop has to have a lens. Like, you know, instead of CDs, we got seeds. And the conversation can transform once we actually do it for ourselves too. We just got to remind each other that we kind of been green, you know, been going to the grocery store, you know, been going to the farmer's market, been going, you know, to the community and to the, you already know, man. Thrift stores ain't new. You know, this whole idea of upscaling, you know, we just got to remember that a lot of these things just have to be readopted on how we can get back to the planet. You know what I mean? So do compost though. Gotta compost. Important.
And Ietef, do you have any tips on collecting seeds in general, and also specifically from greens? There's someone who's growing heirloom seedlings in their garden, and they would love to continue harvesting them during each growing season.
Seeds are good. Strawberries have a lot of seeds. If they're organic, you can definitely press them out into like, you know, a paper towel, let them dry out. And if they're ready to grow, you definitely want to start, you know, getting those sprouted so you can do your thing. As far as your greens going, you got to let them go to bolt. So they'll start to look like little chili peppers on the end, you know. Basically, they'll get to a flower, right? And then when they start to flower, that flower is going to turn into the seeds. And then you want to basically protect that from getting knocked in the wind or, you know, eaten by like pests and things like that. And then you're gonna clip it, and then you're gonna like put it in like a bowl and let them dry out, because then the seeds will naturally fall. And they'll just either, or you can just leave it alone, don't rake around it, and let permaculture do its thing. Just let it just go ahead and reseed and just get you some voluntary kale, voluntary arugula, you know, and that might just grow back. Another thing, if you're in a climate where it doesn't snow, just don't touch it. Don't touch the soil either, because it's creating a connection to all the mycelium and it has a network under there. You know what I mean? So you can just leave it alone, and it might even just grow back. You know, collard green trees do that. Cabbage does that pretty well. Those are things that you can think about too, if it doesn't go to both. Apples, you already know they got seeds. You know, your oranges got seeds, and hopefully your watermelon got seeds too. Hopefully. Yeah. Anyone else? I feel like we did this up, man. We were so concise, man. We knocked it out the park, man. You know, I feel like it was a good vibe. Like we just got them smashing two nice recipes. You know, I feel like the vibe. So matter of fact, man, there's a raw cheesecake in the freezer upstairs. You tried those, right?
Yeah.
Man,
Fantastic.
I put my ankle in it. Man, I swear, man, like yes, you know, not just the foot, the whole ankle. Man. That's how you know it's good. You know what I mean? So good, you know what I mean? Like the shoes be going because you got so much soul. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe we're going with. You know, so there's so many sprouts in that salad. Man, you ate the whole thing, Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, the vibe is right over here. It's a party over here. You know, it's definitely a vibe right now. So I definitely want to just like, I got to shout out. Like, man, I was just up at Kripalu, and like, man, the experience, the community, you know, the friends, the love, everything that I got a chance to receive out of the artist fellowship that's going on right now. Shout out to Eset. Big hug. Super big hug for her right now, you know what I mean? Because I really do appreciate that time that we have. But let me tell you straight up, you know, when it comes down to like all this hip hop stuff, Yo. It's just about you, community work. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? You can always be up in here in the foodie stuff. It's gonna be there forever, you know what I mean? But this is how you get a hold of me. If you got your phone, you can just go ahead and just bang. Just scan that, find me there. Different projects, different styles. Bang. I think you should be able to scan that now. All right. For the hood. Back up on that.
Yep, and we'll be sure to also share some resources following in our post emails as well. So we can definitely get you access to that so you can join along and follow as well.
Too cool, too cool. I'm excited. I know we have a couple of things I want to definitely share with you. So let me get you in this real quick. I'm gonna share my screen here in a second. So I can show you one of these projects that we've been working on. All right. I gotta show you this. Take it back so you can see how far we've been going with all this stuff. Can I share my screen now? Is it working?
It's not sharing just yet, but you do have access.
Let's see if I can get that in. Yeah. Cool. Let's see if this gets in.
In a time when nobody was going organic, and there was one man who stood against the tide
Take it back.
and changed the eating habits of a nation.
Unless you know how we doing 2012. Yeah. You don't understand, it's the King Albert plan, and the 1% scared of the free black man and my energy. Look at me, body man, the sun, moon, the stars, ride for the cause, food justice, and free me up from them balls. Life is so hard, but you know I'm living easy. Gave it from the hood, son, so you know how we be. Smarter than them pigs, so them cats can't touch me. Rocking clubs in the UK, they said they love me. Africa's next, so sit back and relax. Black human seed, master cleanse with the flax. Word to Bobby Hutton, they ain't occupying nothing. Matter of fact, they asses frontin'. They must be lazy, waiting on the FDA to feed their baby. You want it, I got it. See me in the farmer's market. Roots, beans, and greens in the melons and things, and with that wheat grass. Be boys, be girls, still babies. Living in the world where parents going crazy. Dropping tears in the cup, just to pour the water. Pure libation foundation for my daughters. So many youths growing up without a father. If you don't have the time to raise them right, then why bother? Get the 9 to 5, multiply the green collar. Keep it organic, watch your youth growing taller. Feeling like the moon, dropping knowledge in the room. And keep it funky fresh until the lotus hits bloom. I can't stop till my seeds drop. Science, born alignment, roots and refinement. Meditate and get quiet, speak silent. And we walk like a wise man, talk like a wise man. Little brother, what's your plan? Overstand, get the facts in your hand. Get the facts in your head. Yeah.
This fall, an OG from the hood.
Yeah, classic. Old school. Yo, that video is from 2011. So just trying to give you like a perspective of like, that's my 10-year challenge right there. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a while, Those were the farmers looking a little young, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't even anything in the hydro farm yet, It's a couple different ways that we got a chance to like connect with inner city, but that's definitely one, So I'm just happy I got a chance to connect with you on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn more about you all. Hope we get a chance to like spend more time in person and stuff like that, This virtual world is something, but you can't taste how good the food is. And I just feel so bad for you right now, but I also understand that you gotta be where you at, But I'm just letting you know. You missed out today. But you also was in there, you know how to make it, so I hope you took some notes. You phoned a friend, you know what I mean? You recorded half of this or something like that, because it is important, you know what I mean? I know this will be a recorded, with the team here, but just remember, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best way anyway. So how we doing? Are we vibing on it? We good? How much time do we have left?
Yeah, we're open to take more questions. We have about 32 left in our session.
Oh, okay. One thing I remember about when I first started to grow food, I think the first thing I planted was an apricot. I was age 3, and got a chance to like change the whole life. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. When you can remember things like that. You know what I mean? Like giving those chances. You know what I mean, to the young people. Gotta let them grow something. But they might remember something. What questions we got?
Thank you, Amy, for sharing Ietef's website as well. And some of the other questions that might be coming up are coming into this coming season. What are some suggestions that you might have in how to incorporate seasonal items that might be popping up, as well as what might be your intentions for this coming season?
Man, probably things that I love in the seasonal, of course, everything we have out, like, avocados are in, strawberries are in. I love eating from that perspective of like knowing what the farmer's market got, that's what you got, For me, my season, things that I have coming up, I'm really ready to get ready to celebrate Earth Day. So many things to celebrate, and Earth Day is going to be one of them for sure. And got my time ready for that. I'm in Colorado to celebrate that. So this whole season is just it's a time for transformation. I didn't get a chance to see the eclipse that happened, but I feel it. It's a lot of things going on. A lot of people having major shifts in their life. Things are changing. People are moving. People are ending and starting new cycles and relationships, and these are a beautiful time to acknowledge that time. So even for me, I'm watching it happen with friends and family and self, and that's what's going on. Like, this whole season of change is just like the obliquity shift that we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Where our axis is changing. We're turning closer to the sun, metaphorically, emotionally, spiritually. That's what's happening with my seasons right now, Definitely, I see that. Yeah.
And then we also have Ben who would like to ask a question also, so I'm just going to unmute them.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why don't you eat any meat?
Oh man. I haven't eaten meat since I was 13 years old. And I'll be 37 this year. I just haven't needed the reason to. You know, I feel like the texture and the flavor that I actually am going for, it requires a lot of seasonings anyway. And I feel like meat doesn't taste good without vegetables. You need some kind of seasoning or something. I was like, yeah, no, I can just do this in so many other ways. If I want the charred, kind of like barbecue texture, thick, you know, I can do that a couple ways, right? So, of course, there's tempeh. You know, I can make my own sprouted, you know, lentil burger and, you know, or there's so many options available out there that you can try things without having to compromise the future. The one thing I do know, that it takes a lot of water just to grow a pound of beef compared to the same amount of water you can grow acres and acres and acres of vegetables. You know, and so thinking about that perspective of the water conservation, the deforestation that a lot of times is, you know, the other aspect of the beef industry. At the same time, you know, the beef industry and the dairy industry are hand in hand. And there's a lot of, you know, I would say like animal injustice and animal rights activists have been raising the eye on how the cows are treated during the process of becoming, you know, mother cows, you know, and that whole process of what that looks like, and that we're the only species on the face of this on the planet that drinks the milk of another species, even at the same time after we are born, you know. So like we have a different purpose. We can give life to so many things, and I can make milk out of cashews, and at the same time, there's really, really, really good recipes out there to make like a nice like burger out of chickpeas. So you should try it. Yeah. Good. Maybe for a fire too. There's some barbecue sauce on it. Little turmeric player. For real. Trust me. I hope I answered your question, little man. Little one.
Yep, and then just the one last question I think we have is, do you have any programs that you offer over Zoom or otherwise for elementary schools or other ways to engage with children in this realm of thought?
I love going to schools. A lot of times I'm doing like assemblies with kids, and it's like live concerts and performances about environmental hip hop. And of course, cooking classes virtually if I have to, if I have the luxury and the opportunity and showing up to the classroom and getting some middle schoolers to eat raw broccoli. It's amazing. It's amazing to me, you know. And I love for them to go home and talk about how much they love broccoli, you know, to their parents. You know what I'm saying? And like, so I got you. Yeah. Excitement. I really appreciate this opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to share with you, you know, shout out to the elders and you know, to the land that I'm on and, you know, the shoulders that I stand on. And I hope you all take it, you know, take a chance to like vibe, you know, with yourself too, because this is some really powerful sacred times we're in right now. Planet conjunctions and, you know what I mean, any eclipse, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, I'm happy that you took your time out of the day to share with me right now. You know, you could be in the stars right now. And this is dope. So I'm honored. Thank you for your space and your time. And, you know, I hope you get a chance to like take some of these recipes with you. Some of these things, you know, of course they pop in during the holidays, but they pop in any day. You know what I'm saying? This might be that 3 o'clock wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like I need something, you know, out the freezer, something fly, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind. You know, it may be vegan, but it ain't organic. So, you know, the longer the shelf life, the shorter yours. You might want to, you know, keep that all fresh like that. You know what I mean? I definitely love, you know, my veggies, you know, frozen or not. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's going down. You know what I mean? So remember that to stay in the produce section. Yeah.
Well,
Any
thank you
last
so much,
words?
Ietef. It was an awesome session.
Oh man, I got a chance to get down with y'all. This is cool, you know. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Ava. You know what I mean? Shout out to David. You know what I mean? Just all the squad, all the people over there. Like, you know, I got nothing but love, you know. In my squad, you know what I mean? Shout out to Ash. Shout out to, you know what I mean, you know, the rest of all the homies, you know what I'm saying? Rebecca and Allison and you know what I mean? People from my camp, from my crew, you know what I'm saying? Melinda, you know what I'm saying? Mia, you know what I mean? You know, what up, what up? All the gang. Yeah. Love y'all.
Hope
Yeah.
everybody has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow for the continuation of our Amplify Voices of the Global Majority series. So rest well and be prepared for more.
I'll post some pictures of everything on the gram so you can check it out. So you can see what the plates look like. Be real. Peace. Yeah.